So, you're probably here because the brand new GoPro HERO 12 Black just came out, and I've been actually fortunate enough to be testing this camera for the last 2 weeks here in Indonesia. And in this video, I'm gonna show you all the tips and tricks on how you can make the most out of your HERO 12. But before we start, let's just give you guys a little taste. Couple things that have changed when it comes to the color profiles on the GoPro. You're now able to shoot in the standard mode, which is the normal mode that you probably know already from the HERO 11. You can shoot in the natural, flat and vibrant color profile, and then you now have also the HDR mode and log color profile. The HDR mode allows you to get better details in overexposed shots. So for instance, when you shoot the sky and it's a bit overexposed, in the HDR mode you'll be able to maintain the colors of the sky. For those who don't know what log means, basically it allows you to shoot in a much higher dynamic range, which causes the clip to be quite flat at first when you shoot in camera, but later in post it's much easier to bring the colors back and you have more freedom in the color grading process. For someone who usually shoots in a flat color profile on the GoPros, it's definitely a win to have that feature. But I also highly recommend shooting in the natural or vibrant color profile, specifically if you're not that much into the color grading process and you just want to get it straight out of the camera, because the colors that they have inside the camera of the GoPro are pretty great as well. So for this shot I want to start as high as I can and then dive down over the buildings. I'll be shooting everything in 5K, 8x7, 30 FPS, and of course, as I said, shooting in the log color profile and show you the before and after. We are currently on an epic sunrise mission. As you can probably see in the back, the sun is rising and we are here at Mount Bromo, which is still an active volcano, and we're trying to get to the top, to the crater, to get some really cinematic shots. We just made it to the top of Mount Bromo and you can literally hear the volcano behind us. It's pretty daunting to be honest. And the sun is also rising right now, as you can see on my face. And it is absolutely epic and it's literally screaming to put the drone in the air. So let's get it. Absolutely epic scenes out here. I can't believe I'm literally standing in front of this volcano, and I literally just came from Iceland where I saw an active volcano with lava, but this is just as epic and we're getting all the good shots here. We're shooting everything in 5K, 8x7, 30 FPS just to make the most out of the sensor here and get nice motion blur, so make sure to shoot everything in 1/60 just so you get that creamy cinematic look. just got down from Bromo and this was actually pretty insane. Now we're heading into the desert here with our 4x4 Jeep and trying to chase the car with the drone. I reckon it's gonna be a good one. Let's get it. So I'm currently here surrounded by nothing but waterfalls, and there's actually so much to capture, and this is the perfect moment to actually introduce the new lens mod. This is the lens mod 2.0 and it allows you to shoot in 4K, 4x8, 9x16 and in 30, 24 and 60 FPS. When you shoot in 4x3 you get to capture up to 36% more, and if you shoot in 9x16 it's up to 48%. This is obviously very useful, particularly as an FPV pilot, because you have a lot of crop later in post when you stabilize content, but it's also a game changer for any sort of POV shots because you get to capture a much larger point of view. So we just chucked it on here. I'm gonna try fly nice and close to the water, and the goal is to capture the top and the bottom of the waterfall. This is usually not really possible unless you mount your GoPro vertically, but in this case with the new lens mod this should do the trick. Another day, another waterfall, and today we're actually pretty lucky because there's no one around us and the waterfall is absolutely pumping. This is a great opportunity once again to utilize the lens mod 2.0. That way I can try at least to capture as much as possible of the waterfall. Look at the fog that is currently rolling in behind me. This is gonna be so epic, flying through this and pinching the clouds. Let's get it. We are currently on the way to summit Mount Ijen, which is another active volcano here in Java. It's currently 3 AM. This is how early you have to get up in order to get sunrise up on the top. This is where we're currently heading. We just started our hike. It'll take another hour or so to get there, and I heard the views up there are insane. Let's go. But just about to arrive at the top, and it's so worth it to come out here. So I want to take a moment to appreciate y'all for supporting me since day one and making things like this possible for me, that I get to explore these places and show you the beauty of this world and get to call this my job. But now it's time to go full send, baby, and get to the top. Let's go. we are now officially done with Java, which was absolutely epic, and now we're off to Bali. So let's change this location a little bit.
All right, that's enough FPV content. We're getting in the water.
First day back on Bali right now, and we caught up here with Bali dirt bikes who are keen enough to shoot some really epic stuff here in front of Mount Batur, which is another volcano. This is now the third volcano in the last 2 months, I think. We have two of the guys riding up and down the hills, and we're trying to capture some really epic stuff with the FPV drone now. Let's get it. So we're just getting set up right now, trying to get a cool shot close up of the bikes, and we're trying to get some really nice slow-mo shots. New lens mode on the GoPro, trying to get more field of view. Should be a good one. Let's get it. So, as you can see, we had a pretty epic time here in Indonesia, and I have Chris here, who you probably already know because he's an absolute legend when it comes to GoPro stuff. What are your thoughts on the GoPro HERO 12 Black?
If we're being honest, there's not like a ton of huge upgrades this year. It's very minor. I think if you're a pro consumer, you're going to be stoked about these little changes. Obviously, max lens mod is, I think, the thing we're both most excited about, but that improved battery life, like they've really done it this time. It's I wasn't expecting that much of a difference. It really is basically double. When we're doing the side-by-side comparisons, the way the 11 drains the battery is quite intense compared to 12, so props to GoPro for changing that.
For sure.
The GoPro log and flat color profiles, I think a lot of also pro consumers are really going to enjoy that, because a lot of people mix, you know, Sony mirrorless footage with DJI drone footage with other cameras. Mixing footage together with color grading is going to be a lot better now for, you know, the high-end user.
Exactly.
So I think that's something to get excited about.
I mean, I completely agree with Chris here. I think the Max Lens Mode 2.0 is a game changer specifically for any sort of POV shots or FPV shots. For the FPV pilots amongst you guys, you obviously know there's a lot of croppage later in post usually when you have to stabilize it with real steady. So that compensates it, which I think is a really great feature. And of course, for POV, I think it's pretty much...
For POV, it's huge.
And as Chris said, I think the biggest upgrade between the 11 and the 12 is for the pro users. If you're into color grading like myself and I really enjoy the process and usually shoot already in a relatively flat color profile, I think having the option to shoot in log, as you said, and color match it with other devices that you may shoot on, it's definitely helpful and gives you so much more freedom later in post. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comments. If you have any sort of questions, hit me up, hit Chris up. He did also a video, which is absolutely amazing.
Got a video on my channel. If you want to see a bit more about tech specs and put them in sort of simplified terms, come check it out.
Let's get it. Woo, woo.